Hello and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Fools podcast, a show where a Bears fan and a Packers fan talk about fantasy football. Hardik, how'd this week go for you? Are you still running the table?
Yes, sir. I dropped 175 on a National Merit Scholar, Austin Okada.
There we go. We love to hear that. And I dropped 151 on Ronak Chahal, the best team in the league, making me not actually the best team in the league because we have the same record and he has more points for than I do. But tied for the best record in the league.
But I got the best roster in the league.
Hardik's team is good. Hardik's team is good. It puts up a lot of points. But although
if I get in the playoff picture, y'all are actually y'all are not gonna have fun.
But he's not there yet. We'll see how he does this week.
4-6.
Yeah. So.
All right. So we're recording this on Friday, and yesterday was Thursday Night Football, obviously.
Yeah.
So big news coming out from yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries.
Mark Andrews out for the year. Joe Burrow out for the year. That's gonna change a lot.
That's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a Jamar Chase owner, how do you feel?
I don't feel good. You know, Jamar Chase, a lot of his points came from the production of Joe Burrow. But Jamar Chase is just still Jamar Chase. And for me, I still have A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb somehow in a 12-man league.
Yeah, I don't understand how those trades happen. But.
So for me, Jamar Chase was my wide receiver 3 anyway. But, yeah, it's definitely going to hurt to have Chase, his production's going to dip a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're a Mixon owner, and you probably love
I am. As a Mixon owner, I'm pretty excited, especially since he's put together some good games the last couple of weeks, and now it should even continue to be even better. But our crisis players this week are definitely, we have 2. And this is just on Thursday. It's kicking to you. But Joe Burrow and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, to solve for him, you definitely want to just pick up Isaiah Likely.
Yeah.
Unless you have a backup tight end like Jake Ferguson, you got someone off the waivers later.
Likely's been good in the games Andrews has missed in the past few years. So plus Lamar really relies on tight ends. So
yeah,
I would definitely go and look for Likely.
And then for Joe Burrow,
you're definitely not.
There's not replacing
you.
Yeah, you're not replacing him with Jake Browning.
If I were you, I'd go pick up Russ off waivers. Russ is good.
Yeah. Has Jake Browning played an NFL game?
No, yesterday was his first snap, I believe.
Oh, really?
But I mean, at least he
had 10 points actually. I'm looking at.
He found the tight ends. He
didn't do terrible. But still, probably you want someone a little more reliable than Jake Browning. No offense to Jake Browning. Anyway, I know he's listening. But
this week's our trade deadline, and it's probably a lot of people's trade deadline this week. Mm-hmm. So, are you making any big moves, or what's a big player that you'd want to trade away, trade for?
I'm standing pat at the trade deadline. Although I can see how, I could see a couple different pieces being moved, and one of those is Stephon Diggs or Josh Allen, depending on, as you know, The Bills just fired their offensive coordinator after that horrendous Monday Night Football game. And Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen were not communicating well in that game, and there was a little bit of drama if you saw Trevon Diggs' Instagram. So I think if you're really concerned about that, you can trade Stephon Diggs for a lot of value. He's definitely a sell high candidate. You definitely do not need to settle for anything lower. I personally am not trading him because I have Amon-Ra too. So even if Stephon Diggs does dip in production, I'm still good, and I'd rather just have them both. But if you're really worried and you need like a better flex option going into the playoffs, then I would think about that. Although don't settle for anything too low because it's not worth it then. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not really buying all the hate the Bills are getting. Like, they're still going to put up fantasy production. Like,
exactly.
One bad week doesn't really, like... Sure, Josh Allen's not playing the best football, but he's still putting up great fantasy numbers, and so is Stephon Diggs. Yeah. But one sell that I have is definitely Alvin Kamara, because a few weeks ago I was sitting here telling y'all that you should trade for Alvin Kamara coming off his suspension, but now I'm telling you to trade away because his value, in my opinion, peaked last week or 2 weeks ago, because now all of his red zone snaps are being stolen by Taysom Hill. Mm-hmm. And he's gotten 9 carries in each of the last 2 games. Sure, he's still putting up receiving production, but he's not getting the rushing ability, and he's not getting the red zone targets or carries that he should. So touchdowns are going to decrease by a lot, and rushing attempts are going to decrease by a lot. a lot of people will value Alvin Kamara really highly in your leagues. He's currently the number 5th running back after missing 3 games of suspension. So, plus he's on bye this week. So find a person that's either in need of a running back or wants to make a push to the playoffs. Trade him Alvin Kamara and get so much out of him, because I guarantee your league mates love Alvin Kamara right now, and I don't buy that hype anymore.
Question for you. Should people be worried about Raheem Mostert's production with Devon Achane coming back?
Oh, for sure. He is so cooked.
I mean,
what is he, 31 years old?
He's 31, yeah.
He's 31 years old, dealing with a knee and ankle injury. And he's been mid the last few weeks. And now the running back that was averaging, 12 yards a carry before he got hurt is coming back. Like, he's cooked. Like, Mostert, there's no positive news for Mostert right now. Injury, old, been playing mid, and Achane's come back. So there's no shot. Like, again, sell Mostert too. Like, people might value him in your league. Like, people might give you a decent player. And so get whatever you can from Mostert, and just I'm completely off the hype train for Mostert.
Devon Achane, when he's played, has outscored Mostert in terms of fantasy points in every game except for one. And then obviously he's coming back this week. So I think Hardick brought up a lot of good points there. Someone else who may be coming back, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Someone who owns him in another league. I'm very excited.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, so do I, actually. He's in my Dynasty League. But, I mean, Jefferson will still be good. I'm not sure how much his production will change from Kirk to Dobbs, because he hasn't played with Dobbs yet. And Dobbs, he loves running the football, and he loves T.J. Hockenson. He hasn't targeted Jordan Addison as much, maybe because that's just Jordan Addison and not Justin Jefferson. But I'm just thinking, like, young quarterback with mobile ability, targets the tight end. I don't think Jefferson will be as good as he was before his injury with Kirk, but I do think he'll obviously still be like top 5.
You have to think the Vikings are going to try and scheme a little bit for Jefferson now that he's coming back.
Yeah.
And try to run some plays for him. So, all right, let's move into waiver wire pickups. Hardick, do you have anyone off the waiver wire other than, as we've discussed, we kind of already discussed Isaiah Likely and Jake Browning, but is there anyone else that stands out to you?
Yeah, so I have 2 guys, actually. I don't know if they're available in your league, but potentially they are. Keaton Mitchell, the running back for the Ravens. The Ravens don't know what they're doing at running back right now. They're giving the red zone work to Gus Edwards, and he got 2 touchdowns last night. But they're also giving – Keaton Mitchell pretty much played the same amount of snaps that Gus Edwards did. And Keaton Mitchell, watching him play, he's much more explosive with the ball. The 2 weeks prior to this Thursday night game, he was going off in terms of yards per carry. Broke a bunch of big runs, and I feel like his workload is only going to be ramped up from here. And my second one was Pat Freiermuth. He's coming off IR. I don't know if your league mate that drafted him dropped him. If he did, then pick him up, because even just as a backup tight end, he's good. But if you need a tight end, I would start Pat Freiermuth, because he was going decently high in terms of tight ends in the draft. And we didn't really get to see much of him before he got hurt. And so coming back, I do think he'll bring more of a boost to the Steelers' offense, a much-needed one too. And I don't know, I just feel like he'll be targeted.
Yeah, I think either him or Isaiah Likely for Mark Andrews. I think it's good. Also, Dallas Goedert has been doubtful and probably not playing again this week. So if you need someone to replace him, at least for the week, that could be a good option. I didn't have really any outstanding waiver wire pickups for this week. I didn't make many moves. Most of my guys are done with bye weeks, so I'm just kind of rocking with my lineup right now. So I didn't have that many waiver wire pickups. What else? We can move into Starts and sits. Yes. What do you have for starts and 6 this week, Hardick?
Well, I've been saying this for a while now, but I don't even think it needs to be said, but I'm just going to say it. Tank Dell, start.
Tank Dell, yeah.
Easily. That man is actually insane. And I'm not even saying that just because I picked him up on the waivers, but the last 2 weeks, he got 30 points and 20 points, or 19 points. And before he got hurt, he got 20 points and 25 points. And with the breakout that CJ Stroud's been having, the MVP caliber play that he's playing at right now, Tank Dell is taking a lot of advantage of that. And he's pretty good himself too. And with Noah Brown out on Sunday and Nico Collins still dealing with his injury, he'll probably be back. But I don't know. I feel like C.J. Stroud loves Tank Dell, and Tank Dell is going to keep getting a bunch of work. And Tank Dell is a must-play in your lineup this week. Unless you're like me, where you have A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase. Tank Dell should
Is Tank Dell just wasting away on your bench right now?
He is. I've been trying to trade him, but no one values him as highly as I do, so it's rough. But I really like Tank Dell.
Yeah. For me, I have a sit. I have a hot take sit. I don't know if that's how I'm going to take based on how he's done the last 2 weeks. Tony Pollard.
Oh, that's not even a hot take. He's such a bum, bro.
Tony Pollard is, if you have anyone that you may consider better than that, or you want to start a wide receiver at the flex instead of running back, Tony Pollard has not been impressive the last 2 weeks. If you have the option to sit, I would sit.
Absolute garbage.
Yeah, he's not been who we needed him to be. At least not me anyway, but who Gavin needed him to be the last couple of weeks. And he has paid dearly for it.
Right.
So yeah, for me that would be my sit.
A sit for me is I'd have to go with I'm just gonna cut this part out while I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, a sit for me would be David Montgomery. I know he's playing a terrible Bears defense. Terrible. Abysmal Bears defense. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. Fire the whole team. Give me defensive coordinator so I can give the Packers 2 free wins. They already have 2 free wins every year. But yeah, David Montgomery, sit David Montgomery. Just because Jahmyr Gibbs is taking over the backfield. And
it's Gibbs season, as Gavin would say.
It is 100% Gibbs season. And you saw David Montgomery get you 17 points last week, but 13.5 of those came off a 75-yard rushing touchdown. He got 38% of snaps, and if not for one play, he would have gotten you 4 points in fantasy football.
Right.
So
it's misleading.
I get the defense they're playing is bad, but it's still Jahmyr Gibbs' backfield now. And I don't find a spot in my lineup for David Montgomery. He had a great start to the season, but now it's just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's unfortunate. Although it's better for Gibbs owners, so I guess it evens out.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Gibbs for me is a top 7 running back right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, next year he's definitely going to go pretty high.
Yeah.
He went high this year, considering he was a rookie.
He's starting to live up.
Yep. Is there anything else you want to talk about this week in fantasy football?
I do have one more trade target, DJ Moore.
Oh, interesting. A Bears player.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it, but Justin Fields is back. DJ Moore was producing with Fields, and your league mate right now who has DJ Moore is probably really frustrated. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the price is going to go up now with the Fields news, but I'd definitely see if you can get Moore for a cheap price and plug him in your lineup. He's a great wide receiver too.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that wonderful note coming from a Packers fan, we will end this podcast for this week. Good luck in your matchups, and go get some dubs. Thanks for listening.